This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 22nd day of February in the year 2019. Here's what we're tracking tonight. The badly burnt remains of the pilot who died yesterday when his small plane crashed and exploded at Iterengbang have been flown to the city. The remains of Captain Randy Liverpool were brought out this afternoon to a solemn welcome at the Ogle Airport. Officials of the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority have flown into the Iterengbang area to begin their investigations into the Thursday evening plane crash. Persons in the area reported seeing the Cessna single-engine aircraft flying extremely low, moments before it crashed and burst into flames. The pilot was the only one on board at the time of the accident. It is unclear whether he might have been transporting fuel at the time of the crash. In many instances, the small planes shuttle fuel between interior villages. Yesterday's plane crash was the second one for the week. On Monday night, another small single-engine plane transporting the remains of a missionary from the village of Arau crashed at back Canal No. 2 on the west bank of the Marara. The pilot and the lone passenger both survived that crash. They remain hospitalized. Turning now to the world of politics, diplomatic representatives of the American, British, Canadian, and European Union in Guyana met on Thursday with the Guyana Elections Commission. The chairman and the other 6 members of the commission attended the meeting and were asked about preparation for early elections, the house-to-house registration process, and details surrounding the funding of the elections. Yesterday's meeting came days after the Guyana Elections Commission voted to inform the president that elections cannot be held within the 90-day period after the no-confidence motion. GCOM also voted to inform the president of the unavailability right now of funds for the hosting of the elections, pointing out that the parliament will have to approve funding. NewsSource understands that during the meeting yesterday, the Western diplomats questioned whether the house-to-house registration process would be a concurrent activity with election preparations pending the outcome of the court matters. They were also provided with more clarity and details regarding the need for parliamentary approval of funds for the hosting of the elections. The diplomats are now expected to meet with the government and the opposition leader on the way forward. Opposition leader Barra Jagdeo yesterday indicated that at this time, his party does not intend to support any extension of the timeline for the hosting of elections. The Constitution of Guyana calls for elections to be held within 90 days following the passage of a no-confidence motion, or at a time agreed to by 2/3 of the National Assembly. More news coming up in just a moment.
Here now, I want to switch over to GTT right now. Because all this time and money I waste on a calls alone can just send up my blood pressure.
You've come to the right place.
Really?
Once you're switched over with our network, you can activate our Fab 5 plan. With our Fab 5 plan, you can enjoy free unlimited calls with 4 family and friends.
You got to be kidding me.
You will also get 5 gigabytes of data with 250 text messages.
You got to be kidding me.
And your chosen 4 can also call you for free.
You got to be kidding me.
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only $5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
As a luxury mechanic, I'm often asked, what gas should I use in my expensive vehicle? In other countries, you have regular and mid-grade gasoline known as 87 to 89 and premium gasoline known as octane 93 to 95. For affordable, high-quality fuel, performance and high mileage, visit Guy Oil today. Choose Guy Oil Super 95. Guy Oil, we are everywhere.
Guyana, are you ready to turn up the praise? Riot, in collaboration with Gospel Fest, brings to you one of the biggest gospel events for the year. Turn Up the Praise, featuring out of Trinidad and Tobago, Blessed Messenger, Jaron Nurse, and Guyana's award-winning recording artist, Samuel Menace. Mash Night from 7 p.m. at the National Exhibition Complex, Sapphire. One lucky ticket holder will win a trip to Miami, Florida. Turn up the praise. Also featuring Sion Fraser, Christina Richardson, Pex the Band, and more. Get your early bird tickets for just $1,500. Turn up the praise. Mash Night, Exhibition Complex. For more information, call 626-4708.
Welcome back. Let's tell you now that convicted Guyana drug kingpin Shahid Roger Khan is expected to be released from a U.S. prison in July. It is not clear whether he will face deportation immediately, as the details of his plea deal with the U.S. have never been made public. Roger Khan's drug empire in Guyana has been blamed for a number of deaths, as he was also seen as a leader and has admitted to being part of a phantom death squad that was linked to several kidnappings and killings. At a press conference on Thursday, opposition leader and former President Barra Jagdeo declared that his People's Progressive Party is not afraid of Roger Khan's release, since the party had nothing to do with him. Khan had claimed in newspaper ads that he received support and was supported by the former PPP civic government during the Phantom's killings time.
We're not afraid of Roger Khan's release because we had nothing to do with Roger Khan, and if he's released and he did crime in Guyana, he must face the consequences too. We're not afraid of that. If any charge could be proven against him, the state has all the authority and the right to do so.
So you deny completely that the PPP...
Nothing, absolutely nothing to do with Roger Khan. It was the APNU propaganda again.
Mr. Jagdeo has always blamed persons linked to the People's National Congress, which was in opposition at the time, for the crime spree that gripped the country for a number of years under his presidency. Jagdeo said he had no need for Roger Khan when his government had the state's arsenal.
We didn't need no phantom, but the effectiveness of the police force and the army was curtailed because of the political environment which we are operating in. Every time they go out, everything is extrajudicial killing. When a man shoots at the police with a high-power rifle, the police shoot back at him and kill him, or the army, they would say, oh, it's extrajudicial killing. And they were shooting at them with weapons, high-power weapons. That was the era. You think I was bothered with Roger Khan and a small group of others? We had at our disposal the entire arsenal, from cannons to pistols.
Many of the deaths that took place during that crime spree remain unsolved. During his case in New York, evidence was presented to the court that showed a letter that was allegedly written by the former Health Minister Leslie Ramsamy giving permission for Roger Khan to import wiretapping equipment. Well, after having her bail application denied twice by the Magistrates Court, the attorney for University of Guyana bomb threat suspect Shanice Jaffer Ali was successful in the High Court. Justice Navindra Singh today granted bail for the young woman in the sum of $10,000. She was charged 2 weeks ago with allegedly using her phone to issue bomb threats against the University of Guyana. In court, Justice Singh noted that there was no evidence presented to the court that indicated that the young woman was a threat to society. The judge also requested that the police provides evidence that would show that the young woman is a threat or would tamper with any evidence if released. Bail was granted and the young woman will appear in the Magistrates Court for the continuation of her trial. It was earlier this month that the University of Guyana was forced to shut down its Turkine campus for 3 days after the series of bomb threats. Police and bomb investigators were called in, and their proof of the incident led to the arrest of the young woman. Across the region is coming up next.
This match day, February 23rd, Hits and Jams Entertainment brings you an event like no other. Sunrise Brunch Party, the first of its kind in Guyana. The day starts off with a delicious brunch served from 10 a.m., followed by the day party with the best lineup of DJs. Shizzle, Diamond, Sia, Ryan, and Energy at the Everest Cricket Ground. Sunrise Brunch Edition, brought to you by Hits and Jams Entertainment. Stay tuned for more details.
Come give me the wine, come together. just gonna head it. Oh no, that's some save, isn't it?
Let's Bet Sports. Take your game to a whole new level. You decide. Your game. Your bet type. Your bet amount. Guyana Lottery Companies. Let's Bet Sports. Be part of the game.
Across the region right now, former St. Kitts Prime Minister and opposition leader Dr. Denzel Douglas has scored a major victory in the passport case brought against him by the Attorney General of St. Kitts, when the court ruled in his favor. The government of St. Kitts took the opposition leader to court seeking a declaration to have him disqualified from being a member of the National Assembly on the grounds that he had contravened the Constitution of St. Kitts Nevis. They also asked that if that declaration was made, that he, Dr. Douglas, would have to vacate his seat in Parliament, and there should be an injunction that would bar him from the National Assembly and from carrying out any functions of a Member of Parliament. Senior Counsel Anthony Estefan countered that Dr. Douglas never applied for or acquired citizenship for Dominica, nor had he sworn any oath of allegiance to that foreign power. He further explained that in every instance where Dr. Douglas used the Dominican diplomatic passport to travel, he had put Kittitian as his nationality on all travel documents. The U.S. State Department says it understands that a number of Americans are among a group arrested in Haiti. Media in Haiti reported semi-automatic weapons had been found, but this has not been officially confirmed. The circumstances remain unclear, but local authorities told CNN that the Americans were being held on conspiracy charges, but are not yet indicted. The arrests come amid nearly 2 weeks of protests against the president of Haiti. The reason for the group's presence in the country also remains unclear, and no identities have yet been confirmed. And finally tonight, at least 2 people have died and several others have been injured in clashes at Venezuela's border with Brazil. Venezuelan security forces opened fire on a group of civilians who tried to prevent them from blocking the border. President Nicolas Maduro has closed the country's border with Brazil amid a row over the delivery of humanitarian aid. The clashes occurred when members of the community confronted the Venezuelan troops this morning. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. Gordon Mosley reporting.